Ooh, that was loud. All right, let's see what kind of lag we got. I'll count it down. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, about 5, maybe 5-second delay. All right, just give us a quick moment here to get ready and to get set up. That's not what I want on there. All right, cool. All right. Let's see here. All right, we got video up. We just need to do a quick sound check. So we'll just give everyone a quick moment here to get logged in, get set up. So once you guys start hearing us, just give us a sound check and let us know how we are sounding and how we are looking. Maybe like a 5-second delay. So I'm gonna put my hand up and let's just see what the delay is. Count it down for me.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
So like I said, I'm just going to give it a few more moments here. Give us a sound check, anyone out there watching, and then we'll be good to go. Other than that, how is everyone doing? And if you guys could, just put your name down in the bottom to let us know who is here watching and who is hanging out with us tonight. That was a very big delay.
That was huge.
That was a very big delay.
Yeah.
All right. All right, what's up? We got Bo Rabbit in the house. Bo, how are we sounding tonight? The sound is legit, man. I'll just start rolling. You know how it is. But I want to make sure the sound is good for everyone out there. Make sure picture looks good on our end. We got that, but I'm not wearing headphones because, you know. All right, cool. Rock on. Well, thank you. Thank you. All right, cool. So, yeah, we are good to go here. Let's get started. So the big thing I wanted to start with today, all right? And like I said, we'll just kind of get the background set up, and then we're going to start talking about the videos. But the big thing we wanted to go over today is making sure that we are all caught up on what I have up on the screen right now. Is we're talking about crypto and the mainstream, right? And obviously, specifically, we're going to tailor this to Stellar XRP, all right?
Thanks, Michelle.
And what's important here too is to understand that we're talking about this now mainstream in daily lives, all right? How are we seeing Stellar? How are we seeing Stellar used? And the cool part about this is I'm going to show you guys how to track these projects too.
So James is having a corona.
Yeah.
So
James, I'm okay. So James, throwing it out there for those of you that haven't watched the live streams, we usually like to drink on the live streams, but my wife did something that was not that bright. Her family, and actually I'll let her tell the story of why we're doing what we're doing, because we're only drinking water right now.
I have my water. So my family does dry January, and they don't drink alcohol at all during January. However, I'm not as disciplined, so I will have a drink on the weekends, but during the week we are dry during the week.
Yeah,
so,
this sucks.
So water with our live stream
yeah.
today.
So now that being said, so to get around that rule, I already have the answer, and the answer is going to be I have to stream on the weekend.
Yeah.
That is going to have to be. So I will do that. I will probably stream this weekend too, and we'll probably knock back quite a few drinks because it'll be the weekend, you know. But yeah, let's get into it, all right? Let's talk about crypto and mainstream crypto. And if you have a question, if you have a comment, please feel free to put it down in the chat. We will get to it. But we want to talk about crypto and the mainstream. And one of the reasons why I wanted Amy here with me today is because, as you guys know out there, she is not as much of a bull as I am. She's very much a realist, and she's very much someone that just, it needs to be tangible for her to really kind of get with it, all right? So what I want to talk about and what I wanted her here for is I wanted her to give her honest point of view and her honest answer to a lot of the questions you have too, because a lot of us out here, right, we are big into crypto. We love blockchain technology, but we also have people that that aren't into it, and it's not a good thing. It's not a bad thing. It's totally neutral, but it's a difference of opinion, and it's a difference of awareness, and it's a difference of usage, all right? So what I really want to start off with right now is talking about where have you all seen crypto accepted, all right? And I want you to think about that real closely. Where have you seen crypto in the mainstream by you? Where have you seen it accepted as payment? Where have you seen Stellar logos? Where have you seen XRP, Bitcoin logos? The only time I have seen it is when we were in Vegas.
Yeah, they had that machine.
Yep. They had Bitcoin ATMs all over. I mean, it was all over Vegas. But the rates, right? The payment ramp, the payment rail rates were insane percentage wise. I mean, they were freaking nuts. So yeah, I've only seen it there. And we've got people chiming in all over. Enrique is saying regards from Brazil. Well, hello, sir. Regards back from South Carolina. But yeah, what we noticed here, right, especially where we live in South Carolina, we haven't seen it yet. We got someone chiming in.
JC says gas stations.
Gas stations. Yeah, see, and we haven't seen that here yet.
I think we might be a little rural, that's why.
Yeah. But, you know, even when we travel, I don't see it that often. So what I wanted to bring up, all right, and this actually was sparked, there was an idea, all right? We have a fan on the channel, all right? And it's van conversions, all right? And obviously, if you consider what the name is, it's obviously, you know, what they do. And they were talking about, hey, what are ways to get in to accepting crypto for payment? Because what we're learning is a lot of people have crypto on the wallet level, okay? I'm not talking about Coinbase, anything like that. I'm talking on the wallet level. And we want to start functioning within that crypto economy, especially if you made good decisions getting in early. You know that your money is way stronger using that payment rail than cashing out onto a different one. So what I got up on the screen right here is a website, and the website is actually called acceptedhere.io. No, I am not a sponsor, none of that kind of crap, okay? This is just a website I found on my own. I kind of went through it, and this shows all the different cryptocurrencies, all right, that you can pick, right? So if you're a Ripple fan, this will tell you all the different places where on the wallet level you can pay with your Ripple tokens. That is some really, really neat stuff here. And it's not just like digital stuff like computer, you know, junk like that. No, I mean, they have food I've seen on here. I did an underwear ad that I saw on here too. So they have a whole bunch of cool stuff that you can actually use crypto to buy. So it's kind of neat to see. So that was the website that I saw. And what made me think about it was, how do we get this stuff mainstream, right? How do we use our crypto wallets just like we do our Visa debit cards? And so we got James chiming in Chattanooga. There's SHIB ATMs and Bitcoin. I've seen it accepted at most debit card machines. All right, cool. And is that just like, are you talking at your bank stations, or are these complete standalone ATM machines? I'd be kind of curious about that, because we're seeing different levels of cryptocurrency like adoption at different rates across the world, right? And what we're learning here is in the United States, we are generally way behind on the curve when it comes to crypto adoption compared to the rest of the world. There is chunks of the world that are way further ahead. I mean, look at it this way, all right? In this article right here, where we're talking about Croatia grows with crypto adoption, you can buy crypto at a post office in every, quote, county or state, however they divide up their chunks of land out there. You can buy it at each one of those regions. You can buy and sell crypto through a post office. You can use it at grocery stores quite openly too. So it's very different than what we see here, because like if I were to say to my wife, hey, you know, you can go to Walmart and you could use your XLM on the wallet level there, she's going to probably look at me and probably just like crack me in the face or something. I mean,
or
like,
I'll just be very confused of like, what?
Right, exactly. So I think that's part of what we're missing is the actual use case for these projects, okay? The actual use case for a lot of them haven't been delivered.
James says standalone ATMs. I think I want to pay more attention to that.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea, James. I think we got to do that, and I think maybe that's what we'll do. We'll start seeing if we can, I guess, notice it out here, but then that would almost be like kind of false. But at the same time, we have to look to see where this stuff is at. Funky Fresh 707 says Stellarverse. All right, please elaborate, because no, never mind. I get what you're saying with the Stellarverse. Yeah, we're trying to figure out where the Stellarverse applies into our daily lives, all right? And so one of the ways we see how it applies to our daily lives is you can actually go on these websites and you can actually find, hold on, let me see. Let's put, let's see if it's going to, I think it's under XLM on here. Let me see. Here we go. Get rid of this one. All right, here. I already had it up on the screen. So these all take Stellar right now. You can see their logo right here. All right, so yeah, ATM, sorry. Oh, no, Jimmer, you're good, man. No worries whatsoever. James says pizza places and random food. Now, James, I got to be honest with you. We do live very rural here. And I have not seen it anywhere near by us. So I'm definitely going to have to pay more attention there. And in fact, you know, it'd be something cool to see because we've lived rural now for the last couple of years as this kind of boom has been happening. So we're definitely going to have to see when we go out to town to see what it looks like.
Yeah.
So yeah, very curious about that. But yeah, so right now we're just talking about the Stellarverse. We're talking about how crypto applies to our daily lives. The dogs are out there banging their food bowls. I can hear them right now. Matt saying XLM, the love-hate relationship. And Matt, you are not wrong. All right, trust me, you are not wrong because we get it. There are projects that are good. There are projects that are out there that are in the development stages, projects that are in the launch stages, but we haven't seen a lot of the results yet. All right, and that's kind of one thing I wanted to cover. So Matt, thank you for bringing in that segue, and a shout out to Jimmer365. No worries about being late. No worries at all. And don't worry, we're going to be doing another live stream tonight. But one of the things I wanted to show you guys, and this is how you can track projects, all right? I really want to start showing people how you do this, how you start using the ledger, and why some of these projects, right? Why have we not seen price action? Why have we not seen more crypto adoption out there? Well, let's look at this one. Weekly roundup. Nigeria finally launches the e-Naira, okay? So basically their digital currency over there, right? Their Naira, their digital companion to it. You can actually now go on Stellar's ledger and you can actually type in e-Naira, E-N-A-I-R-A. I have it on the screen, but I want to show you guys how you do it from the start. And you could go on the different assets, okay? And there are several different ones if you want to let them in.
I'll let the dogs in and see if they behave.
Yep, no worries. So you can go onto the e-Naira and you can actually check to see how many accounts there are, what the supplies are, what the payment amounts are, and so forth. And this will tell you actually how much is being pushed through this project, all right? So with the e-Naira program that's in here now, and Ray might be a pain, with the e-Naira program that we have in here right up on the screen, you could see that if you go to their different pages, right? If you go to their different, because they have their supply broken up into 225 billion token supplies, you could see where the payments are and you could see what the volume is and you could see that they are extremely low. 1,785 Naira, 100 Naira, 377,000 Naira. Last time I checked, I think it was like 1,300 Naira per $1 US. So when you look at this, some of the volumes here, they're talking about less than $1 US a day in volume in some of these programs that they've launched, all right? And this is, this was their initial one, and then they split it up between this one and this one right here. Again, you could track payments, and you could see that most of these are extremely small amounts. So no, these projects have been launched, all right? But they haven't brought big time adoption yet. And that's the cool thing about Stellar. So Matt, in terms of your love-hate relationship, all right? The love-hate part is that we see the technology, right? We see how great it is, but then we look and we start digging into the data and we're like, whoa, like hardly anyone is using this stuff. I mean, like you could see in here, look, I'm scrolling back just a little bit. I'm already in the beginning of December. That's not a big ledger, like not a big ledger at all. So yeah, just kind of something cool to see. You can track these projects. If you go into Stellar Expert, you could go up into the top right corner and you could put the token you want in there and you could start just following through on the ledger with the token. And I saw who just joined us in the chat. It's Virtual Unknown. And Virtual, I'm so sorry, but my wife made the biggest mistake. She volunteered to do a sober January during the weekdays. So tonight is just going to be water, unfortunately, but it does mean that we will do a live stream on the weekend so that I can drink on the weekend. And I will promise you that I will drink more than I normally do. So I will have a fun one. Let's see. So Business and Tech Education Channel says emerging market adoption first. And that's the whole thing. So with Business and Tech Education Channel, all right, I want you to look at this though. This is the e-Naira that was launched, all right, several months ago. When you track, right, the adoption, right, in emerging markets, because you're not getting any more emerging market than you are with Nigeria. Like, let's be honest here, right? If you want a target demographic of an emerging market that could benefit from payment rails, Nigeria is probably one of your best ones. Right. And when you look at it, look at the amount that's being done through here. So no, we haven't seen adoption yet, right? I mean, look at this one started November 2nd. It looks like we got up on the screen right now. And we're talking, I mean, there's not much, right? Their initial launch of their wallet, right, where they had their amount in there. But check it out. Look at the volume. The volume is super low, and I've got it there just scrolling across the screen. So yeah, you can see these projects don't have a lot of oomph behind them, but the projects are there. They're launched. They're public, and that's where part of that stellar grant comes in, and where that stellar marketing budget comes in, and where that stellar user budget comes in, is because that's all stuff that's going to help pump all of these projects up, right? And God, I hate to say the word pump because that is such a touchy subject right now. But no, they are. They're going to help bring more to these projects by encouraging people to come in and encouraging to participate and participate on the user level. All right. So really cool stuff here. If you guys got any questions, comments, anything like that, now is the time to hit them up in the chat. We are open for anything. I do not mind anything at all on this. But the big thing I wanted to talk about is just crypto in the mass. And I've got some crypto sightings for you guys. Check this out. I had a fan of the channel send me in this. Yep, and I'm going to leave it up on the screen for a while. That is a stellar sticker, right? I believe it's a sticker, not a magnet. It looks like a sticker probably. A stellar sticker on the back window of a car with another stellar sticker right there. So we do have some stellar bulls out there in the audience, and we do have people out there that are showing crypto support in some very creative ways. And if you zoom out even further, look at what we found on the bumper as well. That is totally funny. And I will tell you this is not in the United States. And Android Sanjin, how are you not sleeping? Like, oh my gosh, how are you not sleeping? Hello, sir. I mean, that is, shout off to you, sir. I don't know how you are not sleeping. You got to be tired as all could be, because I know exactly where you're from. But yeah, check this out. This is not a US car, as you could see down here by the design. Oh, and I see a little stellar rocket down there. That's kind of cool. So we do have some stellar fans out there. We got stellar fans on the channel showing support for the ecosystem. We got Jimbo chiming in. Off-ramping is going to be the biggest holdup in emerging markets. Jimbo, 100% right. Off-ramps, all right? Off-ramps, payment rails. For those of you that don't know what we are talking about, okay, I'm going to leave this up on the screen just because I think it's really cool. But off-ramps and payment rails, all right? When you take crypto, okay, so we take crypto, we take it from our bank account, we transfer to buy it, right? Then we send it somewhere, blah, blah, blah. An off-ramp is how, if I send my wife some XLM, how does she get that money into her account to be usable? Because not everywhere we've seen you could use XLM to buy stuff, as seen by this right here. There are some places, but there's not a lot. So how do you off-ramp that money into your own fiat money? ATMs, right, is one of the most common ways you see it. Banks is another common way. Commercial vendors is another common way. The problem is with a lot of these places, and let's talk about Nigeria, right? Because this is exactly the example we were leading in. Look at Nigeria. You really think there's ATMs in all of these remote villages where it takes like an hour or 2 hours to get to the nearest hospital? They don't have the ATMs. They don't have the payment infrastructure going on. So what was interesting was in the beginning of the live stream, we talked about where have we seen it in our regular lives. Well, let's apply it to the emerging markets because that's what this product is for. This emerging market right here doesn't have these payment rails, these off-ramps. So Jimbo, 100% correct. There are not enough off-ramps, and there's not enough like ingenuity with off-ramps. And in fact, there's not enough off-ramps that are affordable, all right? Because the Bitcoin ATM, I swear, was 15 or 17% when we were in Vegas. And I know that's a Vegas thing, but it was way up there on your off-ramp rate. So no, it is true. Off-ramps are going to be the biggest thing holding people back, right? We know plenty of vendors will gladly take cash in and convert it. But how many vendors are going to take digital and off-ramp it? And are we going to be able to get people in these remote villages to participate? Do they even have the infrastructure in there to participate? So when we talk about the price of Stellar and we talk about ecosystem, they're both tied in extremely tightly. But remember, the ecosystem doesn't have that infrastructure yet. The payment rails aren't there, right? The on and off ramps just aren't there. Horrible analogy, all right? So don't beat me up too bad in the chats for this. Everyone out there is pumping solar energy, lithium batteries, electric cars, like all this kind of stuff. That's all well and good, but we don't have any of that infrastructure out here. And I can tell you this right now, they have much bigger pressing problems than to worry about putting electric car charging stations where most of us live. Our bridges need heavy repair. Our roads in the winter get all potholed and destroyed. Yeah, all you guys that live in Chicago and New York out there, we used to do it. Yeah, so how are you going to tell me you're going to bypass all of those projects just to put this infrastructure in? And that's what I'm talking about with Stellar. The problem is we need more of that infrastructure. The digital infrastructure is there. All right, I talked today a video. I launched one today. It had 1.1 million with a cool Stellar thing, supercharged Stellar. That video right there is about Starlight, all right? Ramping up the production on Stellar, but you still need the infrastructure for it to happen on, right? Not just digital, but the physical payment rails, that off-ramp for it to happen.
So Virtual says, ever since you've been doing Stellar, a lot of bigger YouTubers have stopped bashing it. Coincidence? I don't think so. So you are the man.
I do appreciate the compliment. I think the reason a lot of people want to bash stuff is because A, they maybe don't understand its application, and B, remember, it still wasn't hot. Like, that's the problem. Like it's not hot. You know what I mean? And I think the big difference is that, and again, I don't want to lead down the scam road, all right? I'm trying to stay away from that. I think the big difference is a lot of people that were covering tokens are now realizing that most of the stuff that they covered, most of the things that they pumped in hype were crap and scams. So now they're coming back and they're like, hey, wait a minute, we have to cover the good stuff. And especially with the ISO 20022 coming up, right? That's November, just letting everyone know that's November coming up. It's right around election time. So if you think that has anything to, like coincidence, just throwing it out there. But yeah, ISO coming up. So yeah, Virtual, you are right. And they are talking about it because they're realizing Stellar isn't going away and the base of Stellar is growing. It is slow growth, but it is growing. So Virtual, thank you for the compliment. I really appreciate that. That was very cool to hear.
And then we have Camelia Popescu from Romania. Hello,
how
are you?
Wow, hello from Romania. I know we have Android. Sanjin is from Germany. He's from the northern part. My family is southern, so we're all Bayern München fans here. So he's probably a Borussia Dortmund fan or something like that. That's probably what it is. But yeah, so we are talking about payment rails. We are talking about a lot of different things with Stellar. We're also answering questions, comments. If you got them, put them in the chats. We will gladly answer them.
And then Wigbusta187 says, they want you to look the other way. We know who's truly behind ISO 2022.
Yeah, the thing is this, all right, with all the scam tokens and the sham stuff, you know what I mean? Like, that's the problem, right? The real problem is when you look at the amount of tokens that are garbage out there, all right? And just do yourself this favor, all right? Don't think of the word token. Replace the word token with business, all right? So when you think of the thousands of new businesses that are out there and the crap that they're peddling, it is horrible. All right, well, she's fine. If she's quiet, she can stay there. But if you think of all the crappy businesses that are out there, all right, these tokens are siphoning from the real good stuff, all right? I mean, think of the utility that Stellar provides versus SHIB, versus a whole bunch of them, okay? But that still has the whole idea. And Virtual, thank you for letting us know. Don't worry, we will not be done by the time you get back. No worries, Virtual. And by the way, that was a huge dog on the camera, and she is just a puppy, so go figure on that one. But yeah, the whole concept is that a lot of these coins, a lot of these crap tokens have taken away from the actual growth and the actual infrastructure growth of Stellar and of XRP, of a lot of these ISO coins, all right? When you see Jake Paul, right, out there talking about, yeah, I'm launching a new crypto NFT project, blah, blah, blah. Dude's already made the money on it. He's already gotten paid his $500,000 to shill that. Meanwhile, that's siphoning money from legit NFT artists. That's siphoning money from legit token projects, legit startups that are trying to utilize blockchain technology to propel their product forward, all right? So there's a lot of leeches on the system, And like I said, you have to be very careful. They're very crafty. They're very, very interesting. The problem is these leeches are everywhere, and it really does suck a lot of liquidity out of Stellar, where I'm telling you, they tell you they're putting liquidity and helping liquidity in the Stellar network. It's actually just the opposite of what's happened. It's pulling everything from the native tokens. Ripple got busted. Or not Ripple, but someone got busted scamming a Ripple clone, right? They did a total, complete mirrored clone and were scamming people with the likeness of Ripple. Like, that hurts Ripple's reputation, even though they have nothing to do with it. The team had nothing to do with it. It still hurts the reputation. It's the same thing like if your Wells Fargo account gets hacked. You're like, yo, Wells Fargo, what's happening, man? All right, cool. That's Wells Fargo getting hacked. But what if someone makes a mirror of Wells Fargo? You're like, hey, Wells Fargo, your problem. No, it's not their problem. Someone is doing their likeness, right? But it still looks bad on Wells Fargo. So that's kind of something we have to believe, all right, and kind of look at when we look at these projects.
So gold membership says XLM over them all. And Camellia says, I truly believe this is Stellar year.
Yeah, Stellar's year, it's interesting because a lot of these projects on Stellar are going to start growing. The biggest one is going to be the MoneyGram. Remember, we have 11 countries that are coming out with Stellar and MoneyGram this year in 2022. And I will make sure that there is no sound on this because I don't want to get you guys blown out on sound. So let's mute this. But if you want to know more about that, I will put that up on the screen so you guys can see what I'm talking about. If you want to know more in specifics about Stellar and MoneyGram, if you go on Stellar Development's page, all right, their main page on YouTube, and let's beat them with subs, all right? I want to beat Stellar with subs. I've got them trashed with views. I've got them destroyed with views, but I need to get more subs to beat them in subs. But anyways, if you look and you want to know about big details, okay? I mean big details, all right? If you want big details on how Stellar is going to do the MoneyGram thing, you're going to want to watch this one, Bridging Digital Assets and Local Currencies. This video right here is the video, and I don't like there's a commercial on the screen. Anyways, this video right here, this is the big one that tells you about the MoneyGram stuff. It actually has all the countries on there. Again, I don't want to show everything because I want you guys to find it, but here, it just showed up there on the screen for a split second. Yes, you can find it. That is the video you are going to want to look at. All right, let's see. Coach MC, it's kind of like, if it's too good to be true, then it probably is. And no, and Coach, that's the whole thing. And I was talking to my wife about this yesterday, about the scam stuff. Some of them are very, very crafty, okay? And some of the schemes, they're hidden with such extreme levels of math that you really have to go nuts to get to the bottom of it, okay? I've been covering the latest one, which has been the stupid voting thing, okay? The Dow voting thing, all right? I kid you not. This is the easiest thing in the world when you take a step back and look at it. You see what they're actually doing. I mean, it's nuts stuff out there. But I don't want to get down that rabbit hole just too quickly, but just throwing it out there. Wigbusta187 says, Trump's last interview, he said, we haven't seen nothing yet. Crypto will make the big tech boom look like a baby. Remember, you have to read in what he says. We'll see Trump behind QFS. Now, I'm telling you, the idea of blockchain in mainstream, right? For those of you that like are kind of wondering like when a switch gets flipped, ISO is your best chance of when a switch gets flipped. All right? ISO is going to link communications between all banking systems, meaning the payment rails, instead of kind of going crazy up and down like this, the payment rails are all going to be on one plane, allowing money to slide much easier, right? Where before you would have to use the ACH system, you would kind of have to go up and down these payment rails to get money moved from one country to the next. Now money is just going to go on the on-ramp, go on the rail system, go on the off-ramp, and be done into their fiat. It is going to be a huge change, and Stellar is one of the 11 tokens that are going to be ISO 20000 2022. So just throwing it out there, all right? Just throwing it out there. That is, if you guys want to switch, that is the biggest chance we have as a, quote, switch, all right, is the ISO 20022 switch. And Coach MC, thank you so much for the comments. For those of you that don't know, Coach MC actually saw the video that I have not released to the public yet. And was one of the people out there saying, you know, definitely need to start spreading this information out there. So just the scams are out there. They are very crafty. Just be very cautious and just ask yourself just simple, just easy questions, and you'll be able to break it down. And I see who just joined us right now, and it's Oh Baby, I Like It Raw. Got my bag up to 16,225. Good for you. Glad to hear it. And like I said, remember, it's the buy opportunities for me, right? My personal opinion is the buy opportunities under 30 are where it's at. As long as it's under 30, my foot is on the gas pedal.
Eduardo Romo says, so all payment-related crypts going up.
All right, so Eduardo, again, right? I usually I have a fan on the channel that tells me to make sure I say the disclaimer, but just remember, this is not financial advice. We're just hanging out right now, BS and talking crypto. But no, it's not just payment. It's ISO based ones, okay? Because once you're ISO on that level, you are able to be part of that interchange, all right? The communication, the actual communication of banking functionality to send payments, not like instant messaging, but like communication to move the money on the rails. Once that's standardized, only those people are going to be able to participate in that tokenosphere, whatever you want to call it. And there's only 11 tokens right now that are in that ISO compliance. That's not that many. Now, granted, there's always going to be use for meme, right? There is always going to be use for pump tokens, not use, but there's always going to be those out there. There's always going to be tokens that are going to go and not be part of ISO, that maybe might be more part of like gray market dealings. I mean, that's part of it too, right? If you don't want to be ISO qualified, that means you're also going to be part of the non, right? I'm sorry, you're either going to be ISO or non. Those non-ISO, they're going to have to develop a use case for themselves. That's going to be interesting to see. Let's see. We've got Wigbusta saying XLM Algo, XDC, Quant, HBAR, ADA. Yeah, exactly. Wigbusta was just rolling them off right now. And again, if you could just roll them off, just let me know. There's 11 of them out there. And now that being said, you got to remember this too. More coins can join that. That is just. Do you want to put her out there? Sorry, the doggies are just being crazy. But yeah, there's more coins that can go on that list. This is just the ones we have right now. Okay. And with ISO, if anyone here has worked in manufacturing, all right, any sort of production scale, stuff like that. And yeah, Chris, I think I'm almost positive Bitcoin is on. Let me see. I'll put up ISO compliant here. Give me 1 second, guys. ISO compliant crypto, and we want 20,022. Give me a second. All right, so ISO, hold on a second. I'm just trying to find the article that had the names on there, because you have to be very careful, because this is like the same junk article that's been pumped and pumped and pumped all over the place. I don't want to bog down the stream by searching for the web. I do have a web page for it. I just don't have it offhand. So if someone could just list all the ISO coins in the chat, I would super be excited. And I know it was Bitcoin. I think it was Bitcoin Cash, USDT, USDC, HBAR, Algo, XRP, XLM. I can't think of the other ones out there. Quant, I think, was the other one. But yeah, I don't remember them all offhand. If you guys could hit it up in the chat. But yeah, it is. We're talking about mainstream stellar. We're talking about crypto in our lives, and we're talking about the things that matter. So if you've got questions, if you've got comments, put them in the chats, hit the like button, and, just say hello. So yeah, we're talking ISO coins. And the big one is ISO. We're getting back to it. So everyone's asking, what is ISO? ISO is just standardization of something, okay? It sounds very basic, but I want you to think of when you go to McDonald's to get fast food, and that sucks. I feel bad for you. I'm really sorry. You should not go there, first of all. I'm not ripping on you, McDonald's. Whatever. But anyways, so you go to McDonald's, you know as much as I do that when you go, your food is always different. Sometimes the cheese is melted, sometimes it's not. Sometimes you don't have cheese, sometimes you don't have this. Sometimes this is smashed, sometimes this is to the side. There's no consistency, okay? There's no standards. Even though McDonald's has standards, right, on how to make their burger, it's not made the same way, okay? Like, the people don't make it the same way. That's not an ISO certified process. In simple terms, an ISO certified process is this. You do what you say and you say what you do, right? So what your procedures are, you do, And whatever you say you do, you actually do them. That is what that means. And it's standard. So no matter what shift, no matter who's in charge, who's the manager, who's the worker, everyone does everything the exact same standard. Pieces can be replaced. It is standardized, all right? So this communication, this ISO 20022, is taking that communication language from different methods, from different countries, different systems, rails, and it's making them all the same so they work together, okay? The best example I can tell you about how ISO, all right, and if I got my British fans out there, all right, I know I got my British fans out there. The best part to think about how ISO is this, okay? For my British fans, if I tell you my wife and I are going to eat some chips tonight, chips means something totally different to my British fans than it does to my US fans and my Canadian fans. Now, think about this, though. We're still talking about chips in England, chips in the United States, chips in Canada. We're still talking about food, so we're at least on the same wavelength, right? But it means two totally different things. There's banking communications, right, that are exactly like that, where they use the same language, but they mean two totally different functions, and there's no standard. So right now, for these payment rails, they're very complex, right? To get money from one place to the next, you're going up and down, left and right. Protocols need to exchange, and it takes a while for these protocols, like the ACH system, it takes a while for these keys to be unlocked with the protocols. With ISO, with everyone on that same level, all the communications are the same. So when you send a message from this one to this one, payment-wise, that message is on the same plane. It goes across smoothly. There's no garbled messages. There's nothing that gets messed up, because who would want banking to get screwed up, right? Who would want their banking language to be the problem, all right? And I'm telling you, ISO, the best way to think about it is chips. And Sarge KPTV, yeah, it's true. Fish and chips, man. It means so many different things. Even though we're still talking about food, the examples are still there. So you're going to have non-ISO coins, right, that are going to function on their own payment language, right, their own communique language for payment rails. They're going to have their own marketplace. They're going to have their own market need. But now you're going to have this group of ISO coins that are going to be global, right, that are going to connect the globe together. If you were a government, if you were a big institution, and if you were a big company, and we now know that the world is global, I want you to think of all these products out there that are global, right? They've been globalized because of the internet, because of shipping channels and all that. So if you were going to build a business that had global appeal, would you build it on a payment system that is global, or would you build it on a payment system that's unique? Yeah, global. And that's kind of my point behind this is by getting this ISO standardization of messages, of banking messages and communique set up, this is getting all of these cryptos on the same page and interoperability, right? That's kind of the one big thing. So Danelle Dixon said in her article about what's going to be big into 2021, right? And you guys get to look at my cool favorites that I got saved here. I got some good ones. But if you look into that, and I got to see if I can find the article, but I have it too. But anyways, it's an article where she talks about interoperability of these crypto rails, right? Of payment rails. ISO coins are going to be where it's at. They're going to be standardized. It is just how things work, and that is just how money is going to move. And that's kind of the goal. That's kind of the mission of what we've seen from Stellar, right? Stellar says they want money to move like email. The best way to make money move like email is to design a communication system, ISO 20022, that is going to get that money move seamlessly and just quickly, right? And move without having data misinterpreted. So yeah, just throwing it out there. Sorry, I didn't mean to go on a long thing about ISO, but ISO-based protocols, ISO-based coins are massive in terms of global adoption and global usage. So good point out there. And again, if you guys got any questions, any comments, anything like that, feel free to hit them up in the chats. I got to just because I can. I have several pictures I wanted to show you guys. And I'm looking at someone's fridge right now. This is not my fridge. I have to be careful because this is someone's kids on the screen, so I don't want to show them. But yes, I see
I see it.
I see more fridge magnets. So thank you out there for the support of the channel. We've been talking about crypto adoption, people sporting stellar swag and channel swag. That's kind of cool too.
Yeah, and we have more magnets. So
we do have more
let us
magnets,
know.
and we have channel members right now that have been with us. We have Jimmer365. I know Android Sanjin was in there. Coach MC has been chiming in today. Awesome. Thank you so much for the support. Oh, geez, from the members. But the big thing, though, right, is what we're talking about is we were talking about price. We were talking about why the price isn't moving. And we're talking about ways that you can track to see how price could move, right? How adoption could move. And I wanted to show everyone who just joined on the stream right now, okay? We're going to take this one to 8:15 tonight, and then I'm going to do another one at 11 p.m. tonight, the Night Owl special. But what I wanted to talk about is this. If there's any project that you've heard that's been launched on the Stellar chain, all right? So like this project here is called the eNaira project. You can always go in to Stellar Expert and key in what that token or what that code is.
Eduardo asks, what do you think about MTV and XPR token?
I don't know enough about either to make a decision or a call whatsoever on them. I'll be honest with you guys. I go very deep in a couple coins and very broad on the rest. All right. And the reason I go very broad on the rest is I really like to get granular with the data with XLM because I like to be able to do stuff like this. I like to be able to understand how to use the ledger, how to find these projects. So like I said, if you guys have a project that you're like, well, hey, wait a minute, how much liquidity is in this project? Remember, you can search any project on the Stellar chain, key it in here, and then you could go in those projects. You can click on payments and you could see what payment volumes are. You could see how many payments have been made, who's made them, where they go. It is really cool, really neat to explore and gives you a really good background of how many people are actually using these products, right? Because we talked about the eNaira program, all right? So eNaira, right? You got Nigeria launching a stable coin. And Virtual, glad you are back and that the dog did not drag you all over the place. But if you look at it, right, like with the eNaira thing, we can track to see what the progress is of eNaira. We can track to see what the value is to say USDC versus XLM. We can see what people are transferring. I mean, so like right here, 200 eNaira is not much. I mean, not much at all. I mean, that is hardly anything at all. I mean, we're talking like what, 20 cents maybe, 15 cents maybe, something like that. So you can see a lot of the transactions really aren't that big. And we got Chris PW saying, do you know the date for the MoneyGram launch? No, I do not know the date for the MoneyGram launch. They have not said yet who is going to be the first or when the first one has been going to happen. So, but I assure you, if it happens, I will probably have one of the first videos, news, information bites out there. I have been on top of it lately with all the news.
Eduardo's next. I've been using XRP, XLM, and local to move money. By experience, I got better experiences with XRP and XLM. Kind of disappointed with Litecoin.
Oh, yeah. And yeah, I understand it with the Litecoin thing. I do. And you know what, Eduardo, part of it is too, is the payment rail systems that they have in place. Are they functioning correctly too, right? I mean, that's kind of the thing. Are their networks being bogged down? And we talked about that earlier, and let's do this. Let's just go to Stellar Expert. Part of what we talked about earlier is this. The number of transactions that failed or succeeded, they still take space. They still take time on the network, right? They take resources. They take use. They take up space, right? I mean, look at the number that fail versus succeeded. These things can get really clogged up very quickly. And Jimmer says, those liquidity accounts I asked you about the other day, ghosted. Yeah. Yeah, crazy. I mean, yeah. Jimmer, I got a couple real interesting ones that I gotta share out there. A couple real interesting liquidity ones. And some other real interesting liquidity vote ones too. So I thought you guys, just some nuggets out there. Wigbusta says, QNT, Alada, XRP, XLM. All right, so Wigbusta's got the list up on the screen. Thank you much for that. Octavio, I think MoneyGram will be active during the third quarter of the year. Octavio, are you thinking MoneyGram is going to kind of get it all set like right before ISO? Because my thing is, what's the difference of if you launch it before ISO or way, way before? Because remember, one of the countries for MoneyGram is going to be Ukraine, and the Ukraine is already working with Stellar. So I could see them launching that one very quickly with the MoneyGram plot. Let's see. Funky Fresh says Bitcoin and Ethereum are not 51 attack resistant, but XLM is. Okay, what's going to be interesting, Bitcoin and Ethereum are going to have some real big problems when it comes to scalability. Telling you right now, that's why gas fees are nuts, because A, the Ethereum chain just can't do enough, especially with this whole Project Starlight thing, and I'm trying not to sneeze. Oh my gosh, I'm trying my best not to sneeze. But these Project Starlight on Stellar is 1.19 million transactions a second. Ooh, sorry about that. Oh, I tried fighting it. I couldn't do it. But they're 1.19 million transactions a second. That is going to blow Bitcoin, Algo, all of them out the water in terms of speed for transactions. At a very, very minimal use, too, for energy, which is key.
Chris asks, can you talk a bit about liquidity pools for XLM?
Yeah, sure thing. So, okay, liquidity pools are really interesting. So right now, Stellar only has liquidity pools, and let me just bring them up here on the screen. Stellar right now only has liquidity pools, and you know what? Let's do this. I like looking at it at Stellar X, so let's just put up Stellar X on the screen for everyone, and I'll do it through Stellar X. I just like talking about these a little bit better. So when you start looking at like the liquidity pools and so forth, okay. What's really interesting is these liquidity pools are based in pairs right now, okay? They are based in pairs, and thank you, Android, for that. I was trying not to sneeze, man, and I was like, I had to sneeze. But yeah, they're based in pairs, okay? Stellar has what's known as double-sided liquidity, okay, in their pools, all right? Which means in order to get in a liquidity pool, you have to have liquidity of this token and of this token, and that's the pool you work in, okay? They are working on single-sided liquidity, which means you could just put in this token and it would get dispersed. You wouldn't have to worry about a paired token with it. So right now, if you want to know more about liquidity pools, the best way to look at it is that you are providing people liquidity for swaps, all right? It's all about those payment rails, all right? And Barno, I posted your pictures up there, sir, so I will be sure to post them while you are here. But anyway, so and I know he's watching, so I got to do it. So, yeah, so with the liquidity pools, what you're doing right now is you're providing double-sided liquidity, all right? You're providing an on and off ramp liquidity, right? Like a Stellar USDC, Stellar, Ultra Stellar, whatever you want to pick, that is what your liquidity pool comes in, and you get rewards, you get paid rewards based on the amount of liquidity you provide to the pool. You could look at this here and you could see, you know, what some of the fees are for those liquidity pools. You can also see how much liquidity has been put in this pool. So like, for instance, let's look at XLM and YXLM, okay, which is native token Stellar and Ultra Stellar. If you look at that, they have a huge liquidity pool, but zero volume in the last 24 hours. You can even go the step further, all right, and be able to look at these liquidity pools and see where the volume is coming from, how much the volume is, and the wallets that are associated with the volume, all right? A lot of good information here, a lot of good stuff. So if you have specific questions, I'm sorry about that. If you have specific questions regarding liquidity pools, please just shout them out and I will get to them.
All right, next one is from Sarge. Thank you for your great work. You guys live a happy... Ooh, I messed up my computer here. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Scroll up just a little bit.
I'm working on it.
There you go.
There we go. Good luck. I dream of the moment when we all be one world state, free from violence and corruption. Greetings from Russia. Wow, Russia.
Wow, Russia. Well,
thanks for joining.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. That is really cool. And you know what's really cool about that is SRG is that when we look at Stellar can put us all in that same plane in the world, right? You and I can interact, not just like communication-wise like we can do now, but we could interact financially, like supporting each other's businesses and so forth. I mean, this idea of crypto really does put finance on one plane. It is very, very different than what we're used to right now.
Virtual Unknown says, I think that XLM is going to shock people this year, price and utility.
All right, Virtual, I have a question for you and I have a question for everyone else. You guys tell me, is 2022 the year that Stellar starts promoting their network heavily? do you think that Stellar is going to dip into that big marketing fund that they got and start pounding money into getting people to know about it? Let me know. Let me know in the chats.
Next up, we have Felix J. says you only get one shot at first mover advantage.
It's very true, Felix. And that's the whole idea. That's why I believe all the ISO guys right now that are getting in are there. All right, and let's see what else we got. We got Android.
Bless you from
Yep.
Android.
Thank you, sir.
Very much.
And yep, and thank you, Android, for supporting the channel. You know I totally appreciate it, so thank you for that. Even though you are further north in Germany than where my family is from, it is still okay. It is still okay. I don't mind. Barno chiming in. Barno, I showed the picture of the cars, man. So like I showed the cars in the fridge. So yeah, and no worries on the blurring, dude. I got your back on that, so don't worry about that. Barno supported the channel out. Barno is from Belgium and actually supported the channel by purchasing the magnets. He was actually the first international fan. Thank you for the support on that. Ask me about it, chiming in. What's up, my dude? What is up with you? How are you doing? We're talking liquidity pools right now, and open, right? We are talking open questions with anything, how to use ledgers, liquidity pools, how to spot stuff. You guys tell me what you want to talk about, and I will gladly talk about it.
Well, Chris asks, can you talk about the upcoming Aqua Drop?
Okay, so... All right, so I'm going to talk about the upcoming Aqua Drop, and I'm just throwing it out there. I have a problem talking about the Aqua Drop because it really bothers me what's behind the Aqua Drop. All right, I'm being God's honest truth with you. I told my wife this before we went on stream. I said, this is the one thing I did not want to get into because it's rough.
Well, I think you can do a whole different, like a whole nother stream of
of the Aqua. The Aqua thing it is. It's just really tough. If the Aqua thing is something you guys want me to get into, I'll show you stuff. I can show you live on the ledger, like what you're looking for and stuff like that. If you guys really want to talk Aqua, I can do it. I'd rather not because it's just beating a dead horse at this point. All right, the channel members watched a video that at the end had a very nasty thing on it that I put in there because it's crap, but that's just separate. So I'll just get caught up with the comments. If you guys really want to hear about Aqua, bug me in the comments and I'll do it. Barno says yes with the MoneyGram. Barno, the MoneyGram is big, and Barno, I don't know if you noticed this, man, but Stellar has a video. If you go on Stellar Development Foundation, Barno, and you see a video here. It's called Bridging Digital Assets and Local Currencies, all right? This is the CEO of MoneyGram also talking with Danelle Dixon of Stellar, all right? And they talk about the 11 countries that they're launching, their whys and hows of 2022. Totally worth looking at. If you guys are big into this stuff, this is definitely something you want to learn about. Definitely stuff you want to learn about.
Jimmer says, I think XLM hammers marketing leading up to MoneyGram dropped, so that's why I don't think it's close yet.
Yeah, and Jimmer, I'm thinking the same thing too, right? Why would you spend marketing, right, in like amounts now until you're ready to really drive it home, right? If they've been this cautious this whole time, and thank you for bringing that up, Jimmer. If they've been cautious this whole time, why would they just throw money out unless it was strategic with a launch? Right there, you would want to get your best bang for the buck, and we've seen that with Stellar. They have been very stingy on their spending of their lumens, all right? Even though people are saying they're dumping, no, I kid you not. They have been stingy as could be, especially when it comes to marketing and getting people on to the chain. I could easily see that they wait for the MoneyGram. They wait for some big ground level partnership where they can start flooding the market with awareness. So yeah, definitely a good way to think about that. That's a good one, Jimmer.
James Irving says, no, I think next year, once they're 110% established, then the advertising goes out.
So James, you're kind of thinking post ISO is when they're going to start putting more into the marketing, right? Like kind of get the ISO framework put and then the marketing budget. That'd be pretty cool. I kind of wonder if they're going to have to advertise the marketing part of ISO anyways. Almost like does Stellar have to advertise to banks? Right? Are we going to see that? Maybe not advertise to us, to maybe banking systems to use them as their ISO preferred token of choice. It's there. It's possible. Someone's going to have to be chosen, right? I mean, that's just how it works.
Virtual Unknown says, yes, I think they will spend money. That's why you need to buy as much as you can while it's still cheap.
And yeah, that's the problem. Once these programs learn, once they get the public word out there, it's going to be tough. It'll be tough to get it at a cheap price. And then we're just going to have to just change our floors, right? We're going to have to follow the news. We're going to have to follow pricing. And we're going to have to set our floors at strategic prices so we don't get burned. And we'll gladly keep doing that because I'm here for the long run for this.
Coach MC says, I'm curious to understand what the holdup is on the marketing projects. I would hope they would start in 2022.
Yeah, and Coach, they do need to start it, but they need to drop it at the right time. So the big one for me would be like, what if on here they're like, hey, we're gonna go forward with Ukraine and Stellar MoneyGram is all in. Boom. All right, cool. I'd love to see it. That would be a really good time to then drop some big marketing, right? To drop a matching Lumens thing. Hey, if you get into this pool right now, we give you matching Lumens. That would be really, really cool. Like, I think that'd be kind of awesome. So yeah, that's cool stuff.
Virtual Unknown also says, I think it will be a lot more money by the end of the year. And Android says, what will happen to the price of XLM if really very, very many use the Stellar system?
If a lot of people are using the system, it just builds it builds the floor stronger and stronger and stronger. In terms of price, the big movement comes with volume of money and people wanting to get in on the use case and utility. That's when your big institutions, and that's the biggest one that is going to prop up the money for Stellar, all right? Maybe not the biggest, but one of the big ones is going to be once the SEC green lights this and hedge funds get into this, that is a whole bunch of money that has been outside of the system that has to go in. And we know hedge funds are much stronger than any and all of us put together when it comes to financial strength.
Okay, from Virtual, I believe they were getting a lot of publicity last year and didn't need to spend any money on marketing.
It was a lot of free marketing last year with Stellar. The problem is, though, is XRP was put in the news with the lawsuit. And as many people want to say that that's a bad thing, that put them in the news on a daily basis financially. That made them a bigger public name than Stellar. All right, whether good or bad, that doesn't matter because we don't know what the outcome is yet. But publicity, any publicity is good. Isn't that what they always tell us, right? Any publicity is good. So it kind of makes me wonder about that whole thing with, yeah, you guys know what I'm talking about. Sorry, I just don't want to get down on that.
And then Kaizenmaz and Chris PW both would like more Aqua.
More Aqua information. Aqua. Oh man, Aqua airdrop. My gosh, you guys are going. Yeah, you guys are going to get me good. Anyone else that's kind of in on the Aqua, just so I know? Holy crap. Yeah, let's see. We just catching up on the comments. Android saying something like Bitcoin is inconceivable. It should really be everyday. Yes, Android, Bitcoin does not fit everyday use. Neither does Ethereum. It's too slow for transactions. It doesn't process enough transactions, and it costs way too much to process transactions. Bitcoin, Ethereum will never be on the same use case as Visa, but Stellar can because of their infrastructure, their energy use, and how cheap it is to use it. So that's a good way of putting it.
And then we have a hello from Oklahoma. Hello, Jersey girl.
All right. Hello back from South Carolina. All right, let's see. And then we have James Irving wants to hear more about Aqua. Jimmer365, Stellar is still developing functional systems and upgrading. As it grows slowly, they're fixing problems they find. If MoneyGram jumps on and floods it, completely crashes it, then we have a mess. Yes, that is actually super, super big. If the MoneyGram deal does not work, we have big problems. We have big problems to talk about. Because that is the whole premise of Stellar, right? To make money flow easier and to be inexpensive to move money back and forth. So if Stellar can't fix MoneyGram, we do have a big, big problem.
So Ask Me About It says, how did you discover Stellar? Do you have a finance background?
I have a operations manufacturing background where I also had to tackle finance for the businesses. I worked in a very unique industry where my industry was taken over by large corporations and they were buying like smaller branches, right? Smaller independent locations. And so what happened was I got involved with that on just a bigger and bigger role scale where I got just thrown into the mix of learning all this kind of fun, cool stuff. So going through P&Ls, how to do, full on like business development. My wife's seen like my before and after of some of the projects I've done, seen some of the facilities I've worked at. And it's just, you learn how to do all this. And I got involved with a lot of really, really big scale projects where I really just sunk my teeth into them and I learned as much as I could. And I love this kind of stuff. I love decentralized finance. I love the math. I love process and operations. And I like Stellar because they're on the up and up, right? They've got clawback. They've got a good reputation. They've got a strong, solid team. And I really like that they've been on the forefront of regulation. They've been ahead of everyone else with regulation. They've been part of the presidential teams that they've talked to, right? They were also testifying in front of Congress. I didn't see any other cryptos out there. So Stellar has a great team, and how I got into them was learning about their mission and what they want to do with money, because I do believe in financial equality for everyone.
All right, Wake Busta says, I don't think the switch flip will happen while Biden is in office. I believe we'll see a step down soon. Trump was supposed to talk today and moved it to the 15th.
Yeah, the 15th is really just pissing a lot of people off, isn't it? Man, the 15th of January is just going to be an interesting day.
And Chris says, what's the beef with Aqua? See, I guess you really do have to
God,
do a video.
the Aqua thing is just, it's interesting. I'll get into it. I just want to catch up with comments. James Irving says, we all just went to an accepted visa and it was accepted everywhere. Out of nowhere, their signs were everywhere on everything. I believe Stellar will do the same. James, that's actually a really good point, because you're right. I can't tell you when like I barely saw Visa and then I saw Visa all the time. I just remember it was on and it was off. Like, seriously, like now that I think about it, you're right. I don't remember a transition of Visa where I was like, does this store take debit card, or no, they don't take debit card. Like, I just remember being able to go anywhere. Yeah. So no, that's a good way of putting it. Thanks, James. I like that analogy. Thank you for that. I'm gonna use that. I like that one.
Virtual says, I think the XLM could get into $1 trillion market cap, not this year, but in the future.
Yeah, and be careful with market caps, because market caps don't mean much. And don't flame me and roast me for this, but tell me how EV companies out there have a bigger market cap than Ford and GM and all them combined. An EV company that has not made a single car is worth more than Ford and GM combined.
Interesting, isn't it?
So careful with market cap, okay? Market cap doesn't mean everything. We're just using market cap right now in crypto because we really have no other way to compare them equally. So just be cautious with market cap.
All right, Jimmer says, also the budget is in XLM, not technically dollars, if I understand it correctly. So if they let the price build up, that budget is hella bigger.
Yes, and Jimmer, that is exactly my point. That is why I do not like Aqua. That is why I do not like all the other scams and schemes out there, because that is hurting the price of Stellar, which is hurting their budget and buying power, because Jimmer is exactly right. XLM's holdings, Stellar's holdings are in XLM. So the more we have these leech tokens out there leeching off the system, not adding liquidity, because I can show you they don't. I'll show you. I can do it. This is really easy to do. But these leech tokens are taking away from the value of XLM, which is hurting the budget of XLM, right? 2 billion lumens at 1 penny is not much. 2 billion lumens at $1 is a lot. All right? The money that goes into these leech tokens is money that is not going into Stellar. That is a huge problem. That is a big problem. And the problem gets even bigger when you find out that most of these tokens are scams and BS. And they are screwing you over in very clever pyramid schemes and money laundering. So yes, I do get pissed off about this, because these are tokens that are using the Stellar name. We're on the Stellar chain. So they're using the Stellar notoriety. The Stellar, we're a clean image, we're ISO compliant, we're ahead with clawbacks. They use that likeness, saying we're built on the Stellar chain, and peddling complete garbage. Complete garbage. So yeah, I can show anyone specific examples of whatever you guys want to talk about, all right? I can show it to you live. It is the easiest thing in the world to do, but it pisses me off because, yes, it is crap, and it is taking away liquidity from the system.
So there are a few comments about Aqua and things like that, which, again, you could do when you tackle it in a different one.
All right. I got one. Do you guys, let's see. Forget about Aqua and the rest. And what do you say? Yeah, and it's true, okay? And here's the thing with Aqua, all right? I'm going to explain to you guys why, in a broad spectrum, why Aqua is crap. And watch the reaction on my wife's face as she gets more centered on the camera as I explain how this works, because you are way off the camera, as you see.
It's because I'm looking
I know,
at
right?
the
Here, I'll move this
other-
over. Here we go. There we go. Now we're better. All right, so this is what I want you to think about with Aqua, and this is why this is complete crap. Okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this one quick thing and just watch my wife's reaction to this. This is a program where you get rewards. You get more rewards by owning more tokens, but you have to buy those tokens. So for you to get more rewards, you have to buy more tokens. But the rewards program that they usher out tells you that the more Aqua that you own, the higher your reward will be. So if you own 5 times more Aqua than my wife, I am going to get 5 times more rewards than her. What if that means that the whales in Aqua will get such a heavy, disproportionate amount of the rewards? So the already big, massive holders are going to get an already even bigger, more massive proportion of Aqua than everyone else. Here's the best part about Aqua, and this is why I really get pissed off. Because you guys are all like, oh, Aqua, we're voting, we're part of a DAO. Well, suck it. Your DAO sucks. Because you know what's wrong with your DAO? In order for you to vote, you have to burn Aqua. One person in the last vote burned over 8 million Aqua on an empty account. One person dumped 8 million Aqua in a vote. Track back where they got that Aqua and you will be pissed off. If you want to know where to find that information, go online, go type in Aqua Aquarius governance. It is horrible. You can do it. You guys want to do it together? Maybe we can do it together, because everyone keeps wondering, what am I so upset about? It's pretty easy. Go to Asset, go to Aqua. It's not really tough. Let's do it together because everyone wants to know. Let's go to aqua.network. Okay, liquidity pools, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so let's go to governance because everyone's really cool. Oh, yeah, and real quick here, if you guys are on the Aqua page, who are they? Real quick. I mean, just throwing it out there. But anyways, let's go to the governance tab. So let's go to this one right here. Let's go to, we could go to any vote you want. It doesn't really matter. You can go on it. So right now you can see they voted against it. You can scroll down to the bottom of the page. You can see the votes right here. Click on Aqua voted. You could sort it by the biggest vote. Check it out. Oh, I'm sorry. Someone burned 44 million Aqua. My bad. My bad. It wasn't 8 million. No, one person knocked out 25% of the vote. So if you think Aqua is good, there are people out there that are playing with so much Aqua that, guess what? This poor soul right here that voted 2 million Aqua, that didn't matter because this person did 44 million. The people that are the highest, check it out, the people that are on the highest get the most rewards, while the people on the bottom keep paying in to build up those rewards. The people on the highest have so much more Aqua to burn because they keep, yeah.
All right.
So that's my problem with Aqua. Now, if you guys want to know what else is totally crazy, go to a different vote. Let's go to this one right here. So amendments to airdrop number 2, go to that one. All right, so you go to that one. You scroll down a whole bunch, da-da-da-da-da. You can go to the vote. Okay, let's go. A whole bunch of people voted. Check it out. So let's go for the biggest vote right here. All right, someone burned 20 million. Like, so do you have the money where your vote really counts? No, it's the people with the most money, the most funding of Aqua, and just track where they got the Aqua from. So don't tell me this is a, like, democracy. We're voting on stuff. No, the rich people are going and pushing the votes where they want to get the liquidity pools and the rewards where they want, so they can keep getting the liquidity rewards to keep voting to make things go their way, while you're just buying 1,000 Aqua here, 1,000 Aqua there. These idiots are freaking dumping 20 million. So yes, total scam, triangle, pyramid, whatever you want to call it, done. All right, I'm done with Aqua. I am not talking about it anymore. Let's talk Stellar XLM, because seriously, this is just horrible. I'm sorry about that, but yeah, I mean, just throwing it out there. So,
All right.
yeah.
No more aqua.
Yeah.
See what happens when you talk about aqua.
Yeah. So, do you guys get my point? Tell me this, right? In your country, should the rich have more power to vote? All right? Should I be able to completely outvote every poor person out there because I have money? No. Every person should have one vote and one vote that counts no matter how much aqua you have in your account.
All right.
And real quick, Jimmer asks, make sure the yak wasn't from an aqua employee who voted from the benefit. Actually, Jimmer's got the right idea. I can tell you exactly who voted. They cleared their account to sway the vote. It's on the ledger. Go look at it. You can go in those votes, and Jimmer's got the right idea. You can go in those votes, and guess what? You can go backwards to see how much aqua they burned on each vote. It is insane. 44 million, 20 million, 30 million. You are going to sit there and you are going to buy aqua. You're only supporting people that are getting the rewards off of you. I'm sorry. Like, I'm not trying to get upset about it. This just, it hurts a lot of people. And this does take liquidity away from Stellar. All right. I mean, that's the big problem.
All right. So, Payson Moss says, I see what you mean. Thanks for elaborating.
You are totally welcome. And I'm sorry, everyone. I didn't mean to get like heated, but this is a very elaborate piece of crap. All right. You just digest it and cut it into pieces.
All right. Chris PW says, I get it. You not address the question though regarding the drop.
Yeah. What do you want to know specifically regarding the drop? Like, I just curious what you want to know specifically regarding the drop. Just let me know.
Okay. And then Trigger Bandit says, just found you and you immediately answered my questions. Thank you.
Oh, well,
welcome.
Yeah, thank you, Trigger Bandit. And let me know what question I answered of yours, because, like I said, I've got a lot of people jumping on and off. Let me know if you guys got questions. I'm probably only going to do this for a few more minutes. I'll go to, like, I don't know, maybe I'll go to 8:30. You guys have been doing really good. I'll probably go to, like, let's say 8:30, all right? Let's do that. Let's go to 8:30 Eastern Standard Time tonight. I'm going to do another live stream at 11 tonight for you Night Owls. Android had to say goodbye. That is because where he lives, it is 2 or 3:11 in the morning. It is real late. So I don't know what he's doing. He's like 6 hours ahead of me, or 5 or 6 hours ahead of me right now. So yeah, this has been a total blast. And like I said, I did not mean to go off on the tangent. Right. And Chris, you're right. You only do need one aqua to qualify in 500 lumens. You are totally right. But the problem is how the reward pool gets divided up, all right, is that what happens is that if Amy has one aqua and I have 10, I get 10 times the reward of her. So Chris PW, if there's people burning 44 million aqua just to vote, they have a lot more aqua than her, I, or you. Those people are constantly getting a larger percentage of rewards because they keep getting more because they're voting for getting more. They're voting for their pools. Your vote is nothing. Unless you got 44 million aqua you want to burn. Let me know if you do. All
right. Payson Moss says, is it worth it to just get the ad and just sell ASAP?
No, it's what people want to do with their money. It's up to you, and it's up to you on your time frames. My thing is just to give you the information on it and just kind of just jive it that way. All right. Just look at it because I don't want to tell people what to do, but I just want to give you the information of what you're getting involved in. I mean, think about it. You are getting involved in something, right? That like these people, like they're not the easiest people to find. Like, I mean, like, it's cool. Aqua's cool, but I'm going to scroll down their Twitter account, and guess what I'm not going to see? I'm not going to see a single picture of a person. Not a single picture of a person. I will keep going. And I still don't see whose Twitter account, whose social media account doesn't have at least one stupid picture on their business of them and their wife. You're telling me that they don't. None of that. Come on now. All right, so no, what you guys want to do with this information is up to you. My thing is just to point it out to people so you understand where I'm coming from and why I think this is bad for liquidity on Stellar. All right, that's just my only thing. Sorry.
Okay. Chris BW says, and you get the drop, you can sell the aqua into XLM. Trigger Bandit says, basically, you have been the best way of explaining all of this. Just watched a few videos and it makes a lot more sense now.
Well, thank you, Trigger Bandit. I do appreciate that, and thank you everyone else that's watching out there. The support has been amazing. You guys are the reason why I'm doing this and why I have the passion, because I love this kind of stuff.
Jimmer says the drop is spread out over 3 years, so you do not get the full amount at time of drop.
Right, exactly. And that's kind of the whole idea. So those people, right, they're going to always have more than you. So they're always going to be able to vote it the way that they want. It's super easy. I mean, it's a very easy thing to see.
Jersey Girl says, thank you. No longer disappointed that I hold my XLM on uphold and can't participate in the Aqua airdrop. I don't want it anymore.
Yeah, and guys, and I'm sorry, like, just whenever you get into these programs, all right, whenever you look at stuff, just start, like, literally, just start, like, going around their page. Start exploring their page. Start exploring, like, their social media channels. Start exploring, like, their whales, because you can do that. You can go into these ledgers, right, and you could start tracking the whales in an origination. It's so easy to do. Once you start practicing with the ledger, you can really rifle through this stuff really, really big.
All right, so Chris says, I'm only going to sell Aqua. I've been getting $100 per month for the last few months. Lorenzo says, I wasn't IS.
With chat. What's the chat? Yeah. No, it's cool. I'm no idea. Cool. So let's see. So Jersey, it says, so Aqua runs on the Stellar Network, but not affiliated with the Stellar Fund. That, and that's the one thing I'm trying to find the agreement with them. And again, it's the problem I see with Aqua is, and again, I'm trying not to like get too slammed on this, but the problem I see with Aqua is they're not just, like, you really can't find out who they are. They say they're live on the Stellar Network. Like, that's cool. If I click on about, I usually see like about people. No, it's about the airdrop. I mean, I don't know. Like, there's nothing in here about people. I've got no phone numbers. And look, oh, I'm sorry. Here, I got your thing for you. Aquarius runs on Stellar. Oh, here's your answer. Aquarius runs on Stellar. Aqua tokens are issued on Stellar. The project is unaffiliated with Stellar Development Foundation. So again, even myself, like, I am very familiar with this stuff. Even myself, I had to really think about quick, were they affiliated with it when you get it? You see what I mean? So if that makes sense, all right? So it is. You just have to be very careful about it. And look, you can't even find out who they are. Like, I can't even tell you who they are. I can't tell you who has a Twitter account that doesn't even have one picture of them and their significant other in, unless they're trying to hide from people. I mean, it's just throwing it out there. Like, that's just my thing. And again, you guys do what you want with what you want. I just believe that my core belief is in the native token XLM on the Stellar chain, the utility token of the Stellar chain. I think any investment that does not deal with that, I think takes away from it rather than adds to it.
All right, Zave Taylor says, I just want to get millions of Aqua so I can sell the Aqua to get more XLM. If I sell all the Aqua, I'll be able to buy 92,000 more XLM.
No, and that's cool. I mean, in the ways you got to hustle is really cool. It's just do your research. Please just do your research, ask questions, and dig deep. Go down the rabbit hole. It is totally okay to do, because this is your money. Like, this is your money, all right? Sorry about that.
Where are we at?
Let's see. Chris and James are talking back. Barno says, if you can't find it, it's crap. No affiliation. And exactly, if there's no affiliation, but they're using their name, they're using the likeness, why would you do that? If your company was so legit, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, and like I said, this is not for everyone, all right? If you feel like being the bottom level of a Ponzi scheme, then, like, cool. Like, that's awesome. Like, that's fine. I mean, like, give me the money instead, I guess. But, I mean, it's cool. It's up to you. But, yeah, so that's what we're talking about. We're talking about ecosystem. We're talking about Stellar. What we're going to do here, we're going to end this at 8:20, all right? That's my whole thing. We're going to end this at 8:20, and I'm going to come back on at 11 o'clock at night, all right? I'm going to come on 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So don't worry, as soon as this video is over, if you missed anything on the live stream, it will be uploaded to the channel page, to the live stream group, all right? So if that is stuff that you are interested in, you are welcome to go watch it after this. But I think what we're going to do, let's do this. I'm going to sign out now just so I can give my voice a rest so I can get back and hang out with you guys all later. So let's do this. Klaus from Family Hobbies and Cards, and I have...
I'm Amy.
Amy with me. We wanted to say thank you. This stream has been really good. I'm going to be back on tonight while she's sleeping. A little late night action for you. It'll still be sober. It'll still just be water. No worries at all. And Chris, yes. Sorry, Chris. I know it's a little late for you, but yeah. Thank you though, anyways, for joining. Thank you guys. Jimmer, yes. I'll catch you guys all later. It'll be 11 o'clock tonight. I will go on live. Thank you, everyone. You all have a good